Yo, Nakama around the world. Welcome back to Conqueror's Haki Corner. It's your boy Vim,
Yo,
your boy Serge,
yo, yo.
and myself, Rook. And we're here once again to bring you another chapter review slash discussion of One Piece chapter 989. I can't imagine losing.
But if you haven't already, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button. And don't forget to share the video. The more you share, the more we grow. I also want to just say thank you to every single new subscriber that has joined us on our journey and all the individuals that comment down in the section below. We appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. But let's get started, Serge.
Wow, look at the front cover, man. Like when you're desperate for your children to accept you. So we got Pound, and he's got proof. He's like, look, I've got a picture, and in the picture you can see they zoom in. They show Big Mom kicking him out after the birth. So he's trying to prove to them that he's the dad. And you know what? I hope they just accept him now and let him on the ship, because I don't see the purpose in them mugging him off like endlessly. Like it doesn't, like he's not that important for me to kind of care whether they mug him that much. Like just let him on, man. The guy's crying tears. Let the guy on the ship, bro. Like, you know, I mean, you gotta understand, like, who's gonna want to claim you two as their daughters? Like, you have to be honest. I know Gang Beige loves you and stuff, but let's not forget. You know what you look like. You've got a buff sister like Pudding. You're not her. So seriously, come on, man. Humility is everything. Just claim it. And if you can't see that striking resemblance, come on, man. Guy swam the ocean, man. And we know there's a sit there, man. Like seriously, let the man on.
For
real. Thank you, Serge. Oh, bro. Oh, man. All right. So obviously we finished off with in the last chapter, Franky doing his little motorcycle stunt on Big Mom, knocking her over, and you've got the Napoleon that hat hovering over Big Mom, saying "Mama, Mama." So she's just lying there at the moment. Things are obviously a bit chaotic, and that's exactly what Jimbe it refers to. This is taking a turn for the chaotic. Help me out, Nico Robin. So now it's getting to a dynamic. Everyone's kind of pairing up to an extent. I'm not going to say that they're going to have their own individual fights, but they're going to be paired up for the meanwhile to take on certain individuals, potentially because they may be of a certain strength.
Okay, so from this panel then, would you say that's Nami and Franky to take on someone else, or do you think they'll separate a bit more?
I think they'll probably separate maybe Nami and Carrot.
Okay.
Because I also think what I was going to say is I also think that there will be, for certain characters, there'll be more than one fight. It's going to be like a gauntlet where you're moving through, you know, because there's a lot to cover. Like that's the issue here. There's a lot to cover, and I don't think it's fair to say that anyone's just going to have just their one-on-one fight. Like I think that's where we're going to culminate, where certain people are going to match up with important characters, but provisionally, I think a lot of people are going to fight a lot of people, basically.
The pyramid fight kind of style. So you start here, going upwards to the top. So yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Interesting point here. Obviously, Luffy's looking over. He says, "Oh, nice, I could count on Franky." Now he's going to head off to where Kinemon is, so that's his direction, right? As we all know. But we've got Kaido's daughter following him, and then he says to Shinobu, "Don't worry, you can trust him. He's an ally." And then,
well, that's Luffy kind of like, that's team captain, isn't it? Like if that's how Yamato wants to be kind of recognized, then Luffy's gonna be like, well, to hell with it. Like, you know, that's how it's gotta be. Trust him. And then it's really funny when you see Shinobu and Momonosuke's face. It's like, I am Oden, I will protect you. It's like, huh? That panel of Big Mom rising looks hella crazy, man. Like, you Strawhats keep popping up one after the other. And then it's like, you kind of see that she's going to go on a rampage. But, you know, it's cool that she kind of remembered Brooke, Soul King, we meet again. And she's like, and this was interesting when she says, your crew has many rare and fascinating creatures. And we can see that she already tried to snatch one member of their crew. Could there be an agenda to go for something else again? I don't know.
She likes Franky, bro.
Say that again?
Because you like my metal body, grandma. My name's Franky. I'm cyborg. Literally, like, she's like, oh, what's this mechanical guy? Like, that's why when she says and she's fast, she loves that unique entity, wherever it is that she finds. She's like, oh wow, you're so unique. I must have you. I'm gonna take you.
Same thing with Chopper, right?
Same with Chopper. But Chopper would probably be reminding her of Mink, which he already has, or somewhat has. Obviously. This was beautiful though, right? This was one of my favorite parts of the chapter. We have to get out of here, Franky. She's an emperor. Run away from an emperor of the sea. You even trying, Nami? Do you want to make our captain the king of the pirates or not? It has to be said at least once by one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've all had their time throughout the series where they all say it.
Yeah, that's commander talk.
I think it's more of like an attitude thing. It's like, it's kind of like a reminder, like we're now in, like, so obviously this part of the story in the New World, they've been coming across like stronger and stronger opponents, yeah, to the point where some of the weaker members are, you know, naturally, I don't even criticize them. It can be intimidating, especially like a Yonko. That's no joke. I mean, I'd say commanders are all intimidating. That's no joke. But it's just like we can't worry about what they are. We've got to see what we are and what we're gonna become. Like our ambition is greater than what they are right now. And that's how we, like, you know, that's how the Straw Hats level up. That's like my interpretation of it. And every now and then someone needs to kick up the butt cheek to, you know, like, remember that.
Everyone kind of like has that awakening moment where it's like, yeah, I'm past that stage I was at before. I'm going to make Luffy the Pirate King, or let's make Luffy the Pirate King, and everyone goes through it, like every saga or chapter, if you want to call it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he does the thing, we go to the next panel. And this was what I found very, very interesting about the chapter. Like, I love the way Oda drops us a little bit of education and hints every so often, yeah? So we've got the numbers, and they are absolutely huge. And then it's interesting because we get everything put together. So Franky says, reminds me of Thriller Bark. They are all sized. What are they? And then you've got Big Mom just raining in, like, letting us know the facts. So those are the things Kaido bought from Punk Hazard. The failed attempts at ancient giants. I like them. Mm-hmm. So ancient giants, yeah? Wait a second. Look what that monster's holding. Okay, so then he sees that his crew's in trouble, yeah? And, you know, he does the radical beam, blast him free. But what's very interesting about this, yeah, is like, so first of all, you got ancient giants here. So are there like size differences between the kind of giants that we have? That also makes me think, when we're talking about ancient times, anytime I hear the word ancient in One Piece, it takes me back to the Void Century. It takes me back to a time where things were one way before they changed. Hence the key word, ancient. Now, what do we know about the Void Century? So we know that's when Joy Boy was around his time. And when we were in Marijoa and we saw Emu and we saw the big straw hat, it's like, was Joy Boy an ancient giant? Like, these are the questions that kind of come, because I mean, he has to be some kind of giant character to have a hat that big. So I think we're going to get a lot more information coming out on that in the future, because like I said, he always pins these things in. The numbers have been, you know, bigged up slightly, and then now we see that it's like, okay, there's going to be something big about these guys.
Another question is, how much did the Yonko know about the Void Century? Because she said it like it was, yeah, those are one of those ones. And it's like, what else do you know?
I would guesstimate that the Yonko know a fair bit. When we look at their way of gathering intel and stuff, I think, you know what I would like to see in the future? You know how you've got like the world government, the nobles, Marijoa and all that stuff, yeah? Wouldn't it be interesting if some of the people in Marijoa are compromised double agents by Yonko? Because...
yeah.
Like, it's not impossible.
No, I can see that.
Okay, and then, so Big Mom, she goes and she's getting ready to get Franky from behind. And I mean, that's some cold stuff, man. Like, I mean, he ain't even on your level when you're doing him like that. I really, really don't like Big Mom's move there. But Jimbe grabs her, Fishman Judo, and then he uses Robin's ability as well to kind of throw her away. Now, personally, I do feel like Oda's been a little bit harsh on Big Mom. I think there's two ways of looking at it. First one being, like, clearly he's mugging her. Like, she's an emperor. These people should not be able to, like, kind of even touch her, yeah? But he has built her up to be a somewhat kind of clumsy, aloof character. But then also, now's not the time to make her so threatening because this isn't her arc. So I've kind of come to the conclusion that she is completely plot armor in this whole arc. Like, all that talk of, you know, I got excited, or maybe Zoro could clash sword now. I don't think there's going to be nothing like that. She's going to be plot armor. She's going to do something clumsy. She's going to ruin stuff for Kaido. And then she's going to hightail it out when Paris Peril comes out. It has to be something like that because you can't mug her like this. We're talking about one of the emperors of the sea, damn it. And, I mean, she's getting passed around like that home by the Straw Hats. Like, everyone's getting their turn.
Well, you know what though, like with it being Jimbe, I think it's somewhat acceptable. Didn't he punch her when they were in Whole Cake? He knocked her into the sea, right? So him stepping up is commendable. I think that you expect that from him.
Yeah, I can accept that Jimbe is someone that can hold his own, but I'm talking like, and yeah, he consciously got help from Robin. I think there's a little bit of carefulness there, but I don't know. I don't like seeing her manhandled in the way she's been manhandled. It's not kind of consistent with what my impression of a Yonko is. But it's okay. It's funny. I ain't no one to criticize Oda. We then jump to Luffy, and then casually, this is what made me laugh, man. Casually, Zoro's just there, like, he's come to Luffy, Queen's to his side like nothing. He's like, totally ignoring him. No threat. Hey, Luffy, Zoro, where are you going? To Kaido. I'll go with you. It's like the disrespect that they have. But I like it because it's like they're not intimidated by it. It's like, whatever, like, we'll scuff you. And Luffy did say in Udon that he'd scuff. Like, when he was banging up everyone, he was just saying, like, why don't you come? I need a good, strong woman. Like, I need someone to train with, kind of thing. So it was interesting, though. He tried to do it like some kind of bungee leap using the Gomu Gomu technique. And Queen ain't having that disrespect, boys. What are you saying?
And where you going?
Queen can transform fast, which is quite interesting. Okay, it's quite efficient with that maneuver what he pulled, and then obviously bit them both. See, at these points, right, you're looking at it where you now have two of them in your mouth. Why are you not just chewing?
That's a good question.
It's obviously the story purposes, you don't do that, but you have the perfect moment where bite from a hippo's mouth can crush an excessive amount of force. So I'm sure ancient dinosaur could do the same.
No, who knows? What's interesting as well is that I didn't realize that Queen is a dual swordsman, sword user. It's got two swords.
Yeah.
I didn't actually realize that.
I mean, all three commanders seem to have some kind of form of sword. So, you know, initially they had to fight samurai. And also, like, if you look at all the old pirate crews, Roger, everyone, it's like most of the characters had swords and stuff. So I think that's just like part and parcel of being on the sea. And it'll be interesting to see if Oda at one point kind of, you know, allows other people to just hold swords. Because, I mean, at the beginning of this arc, I know it might have been a joke because it's Wano, but Luffy did do it. Like, he had, you know, he wouldn't give it. Zoro's like, give me that. He's like, no. And he just kept holding them, punching people with it. It was just like crazy.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the Pirate King's crew, Roger, swordsman. Rayleigh, swordsman. Scopper Gaban had the two, I forgot what they're called, but he had also like two swords. So, or some kind of blades. But then, yeah, they get dashed right in the pile by King, and I'm trying to make out what happens. Is it just, does he get thrown out of the mouth, or does King kind of like, do they play a little?
I think he threw them down.
I think he spat. I think he said, you know when he says chew, I think.
Oh, for real.
His mouth. And what's happening is King is hovering over that hole with a bunch of other devil fruit users, what it seems like devil fruit users anyway, that can fly.
Like gifters.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, over the last two chapters, how much Oda is a bit of a tease, yeah? So we got that kind of bit where Sanji had his mini clash with King, and I have to give kind of credence to Sanji because he's unscathed. He took a direct hit from a first commander and he's all right. He does say though he wants to take off the suit, and by the end of the chapter he does. So it kind of threw questions that rise: is Sanji gonna get a shot at King? But then it's like straight away this chapter, that kind of rivalry between Sanji and Zoro. He's like, Zoro's almost like, Luffy, I'm coming to fight Kaido with you. So it's like leaving questions there. Now ultimately, I do think we're gonna have the normal linear process. I still stand by. I think Zoro fights King, Sanji fights Queen. But questions to be asked. But this is now we get to the title part. Everyone gets dashed in the middle into the numbers. One of the numbers goes down because the Straw Hats collided into them. And then you got Hyogoro. He says it, man. We're surrounded by enemies on all sides, but strangely, I can't imagine losing. Which is like, I think it's obviously like some foreshadowing. Like, well, we knew that they're not going to lose in this arc. They have to win. But it's just a wicked, wicked panel of all the Straw Hats together. Everyone says their bit. It's the Straw Hat crew. Just got to get up. Guess this isn't going to be easy. And Chopper's transformed. Okay, one more time. And Sanji's looking at the fruit users like, are those flying devil fruits? And then Luffy's like, I'm going up to take out Kaido. You guys handle the rest. Watch my back. So my question is, are we going to get like matchups by the next round? You know, like, are they going to start to fall? I still think it's early. But
too early matchups, Serge. But what we'll get is, because obviously, you know what I described as a pyramid, right? It's literally in that same kind of analogy applied right now because we're at different levels of the ground to the ceiling where there's a hole. So each setting, they'll have to get through to even get past Queen. So Queen and King at the top, and there's so many different layers. So the numbers, whatever's in between that, the Tobiroppo, who I mentioned, will still have to come back into the mix of it.
So well, at the end of the panel, we've got Queen and King. We finish off with a panel of Queen and King. So I think there's going to be the next chapter with those two.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. We still got Sulong to go.
I was thinking we might see that. What might happen is it could be a thing where we just kind of eventually go upstairs and there's a little kind of miniature 5-minute flashback. 5 minutes ago, and then you just see Kaido just whap them all up, man.
Oh, man.
I could see it happening, to tell you the truth. Hype it up and just knock it back down.
It's an interesting chapter. I'm very happy that we're going to get another chapter next week. Hopefully we can hit like a good flow of like weekly chapters and then kind of go from there, man, because it feels like it's moving quick, but I still trust that Oda likes to cover a lot of ground. This is a huge arc. This has been an arc that's been hyped for a very, very long time, and I kind of expect it to be taken with care. So I do want to kind of progress to where we're going to kind of fragment and everyone's going to get their role in the upcoming battle. Like who's going to fight who, have some of these intermediate fights that are very important to the story, and then see where we go from there.
Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button. And don't forget to share the video. The more you share, the more we grow.
But from Conqueror's Haki Corner, it is a peace out.